All right, guys, here we are. This is week 5, day 2. So normally we'd be at the house doing our power sprint drills and then, work out in the garage. But everything has been amplified. So we are now on the field twice per week. And so I just finished my power speed drills for like the warm up, like the primer thing. And so we're going to get into some sprinting action. It is a little cloudy out, so hopefully it doesn't rain on me. If it does, well, fuck me, right? So we'll figure out kind of what we're going to do. But anyway, we're going to do a couple warm-up sprints here. Literally a couple. We're going to do 2 10-yard accelerations. And I don't know if you guys can see in the frame, but we have the sled today. So we're going to do some sled-resisted stuff. And then some contrast at the end. So it's basically just like, we're going to do some warm-up accelerations, we're going to do some resisted sprints, and then we're going to take the sled off and do some contrast sprints without the weight of the sled. And so there should be a little bit of like a potentiation variable there, but we'll see. Kind of light on food today because I'm out here a little earlier and I couldn't really make up my mind with how I wanted to do things today, and so I kind of fucked up my eating schedule. But, excuses. So we're out here. What did I say? 2 sets, 10. Let's go ahead and get started. Cleats are already on. Here we go. And again, these first 2 should be relatively easy. I mean, I'm not trying to max out on any one of these. So everything's going to stay sub-max, but I kind of got to pace this stuff out too. 2-point start for everything, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Feels good to run on flat ground. Almost feels like I'm weightless coming off the hill sprints, because you have to try so hard on every single step, right? So it's like, here it's like the initial drive, and then it's almost kind of like flying. That just feels really cool. All right, we're gonna take just a fucking random ass rest period. I'm just gonna walk around for a little bit, and then we'll do our second one. All right, here we go. Set number 2. Got some funky music on today. I like it. Very minimal calf soreness. The left calf is kind of pumping on me a little bit, but nothing too crazy. All right, so that's our couple of accelerations. I'm gonna throw the sled on. We got 3 of them to do. I'm gonna take a longer rest period in between, because with the sled resistance, it's gonna be like pretty much maximal effort, because maximal effort is restricted via the resistance, right? So there's not a whole lot that can go wrong there. So once we strap the sled on, we're just gonna go ham for 3 rounds. That'll give me like 1 to 2 minutes rest in between, which I think seems pretty reasonable. And then again, we're gonna take the sled off and then do a couple of contrast sprints, which is gonna be 20 yards again, but no sled. And that'll have to be dialed back sub-max, obviously. So, but we will potentially change some of those rules as we get to it. Because again, like, sometimes you think things are going to go a certain way, and then you actually do it, and you're like, oh, well, I don't know, that doesn't really work. So, but anyway, enough yapping. We're going to strap the sled on and get to work. All right, sled is out. So just so you guys have some context, the sled itself is like 26 pounds, I think. And then I threw a 25 on there. Because that's what I did last year when I was doing the contrast, like sled sprints and stuff. And it felt fine. I think I eventually worked up to like a 45 and some change. But I was doing like heavy sleds for like 10, 15-yard accelerations. We're not doing that today, obviously. But I'm keeping it relatively light. So 50 pounds, about a quarter of my body weight. I feel like it should be fine. And we're running the full 20, so that cone in the back there. Anyway, let's get started. And if you haven't seen this setup before, if you've never used a sled for sprints, I got this little harness thing. It ain't nothing fancy. It's literally just like 2 loops. I just throw them over my body. I used to just run them with like over the respective shoulder, and it feels a little too loose. So I will loop them kind of like a bandolier over each shoulder this way. And sometimes it does ride up a little bit where it'll kind of get me on the neck, but never to a point where it's like choking the shit out of me. And this just feels more secure. I know it's not going to come off, whatever. It's all good. Walk myself up to the cone here. Yeah, not too bad. And like I said, I know you probably can't see me from all the way over there. It rides up a little bit, but it doesn't choke me out. So, it feels fine as is. Like I said, I've loaded way heavier on this thing, and it still has yet to choke me out. So if that's like one of your first concerns when looking at this, you're like, oh, I'm not doing that. Just make sure that you get a good harness. You know, don't buy some cheapo shit off Amazon. No offense, Amazon. But just get yourself a nice harness, and it's got good enough padding, because that's another thing about this. The padding is great, so it doesn't feel like shit, even with super heavy loads. And then you know, start light, just like with everything else, because when you sprint with this thing for the first time, it'll probably catch you off guard, and you'll be like, what the fuck was that? Or, wow, that was horrible, whatever. You get used to it real quick. All right, so give or take like a minute, because obviously it took me some time to walk back and rearrange this thing. So probably like a minute, and then we'll go again. We got 2 left. All right. I think the initial stride was a little short. Guys, I felt kind of slow, but it didn't feel bad. I think my technique was just maybe kind of fucked. I know one of the things I struggle with for sure in my sprints was, I'm sure if there's any guys that are like super well informed with sprinting, and they're watching this, I'm sure there's just a multitude of factors that I'm mucking up here, but I know one of them is that I'm afraid to get bent over, you know, like the fall, because you want to be, you know, horizontal here so you can drive better. I still have anxiety, just like when I was getting into powerlifting with like heavy squats. I still have anxiety with leaning too far over and eating shit. And I know probably any sprinters watching this video, they're like, just man the fuck up, pussy. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. Not all of us can be fucking heroes. We got one more. Ugh. Ugh. Whew. All right, fellas, set 3. This is the last of the resisted sprints. Then we take the sled off. We do 2 raw 20s at sub-max intensity. Again, if y'all recall from a few videos ago, I don't really like doing max effort anything, like truly max effort anything, because the fatigue accumulated is just fucking obscene. Whereas the benefit of going that hard is basically like between 95%, for example, and 100% is like negligible as hell. So I try not to go like true maximal effort anytime unless it's like showtime, you know, and I'm trying to go for a PR, which we will at the end of this block. We'll go for 40s. Last one. I'm gonna try and be a good boy and get as horizontal as possible here. I feel like that was pretty good. I feel like I killed that one. Y'all watching from home like, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. It's okay. Better by the day. That's what matters. Better by the day. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna be a good farm animal and take this back, set it down, and then another 2-ish minute rest, sled off, 2 raw 20s. Woo! Good thing it's not super hot out here today. That would make today worse. All right, guys. We're at the end here. I got 2 20-yard sprints, sub-max intensity, no sled. After we finish this, we're gonna go home. We got some power stuff left, but it needs equipment that I don't have here. So we're gonna go home and knock that shit out, and then we're gonna lift some weights after. Which the weightlifting portion, real quick, is not anything crazy. It's literally front squats, lunges, and then like hip thrusts. So it's a pretty cake lifting day, at least compared to last block. It will be. We're doing rep maxes, but that's like my forte. So anyway, let's get after it. Sub max, 20 yards. See, the hard part is actually doing it sub max, because my little fucking monkey brain wants to just go ham every single time. Whew. That felt pretty good. You're doing this for the first time, or maybe you're getting back into it. Submax is your best friend, man. And realistically, you know, people will try and get like pinpoint accuracy with their intensity or whatever. Bro, you know what easy feels like, dude. You know what easy feels like. Just do fucking easy. Like, it's the same thing with lifting weights. And understandably so, people try to be super accurate with what they do. I used to do it, obsessing over details. And that works when you're in a lab, because that's kind of your job, is to account for every single detail, be as accurate as possible. Bro, we're just out here training. We're just out here having a good time. That's all. So when you do stuff like this and you're like, well, shit, dude, like I want to sprint, I just don't know how hard to go, or, you know, or what I should do, whatever. Okay, well, you know, hill sprints and resisted sprints, something that forces you to slow down, is going to be nice when you're getting back into it for the first time. Okay, and then when it comes to your mental perception of effort, just take it easy. As you get more comfortable, push a little harder. It really doesn't have to be more complicated than that, really. I think the complicatedness comes from people who don't know how to do that because they're never inside their own head. They never think about these things. Well, it's time to learn a new skill. So when you're doing something, use some of that brain power while you're doing the movement to consider how hard are you actually going right now. And you get better at it as you do it more often. And then obviously there'll come a time frame where your body is doing some crazy shit and you're like, you know, mid-rep on a 1RM squat, and your brain is just completely zen. I'm just here, pushing. Can I push harder? I think so. And you push it all the way up. Like, it's cool how when you develop these skills, your brain gets really good at multitasking. And your body kind of separates itself from the brain. Because initially when you're learning how to lift and do all these crazy things, like your brain just is being pulled in 9 million different directions. I got to think about knee drive and the fucking, you know, heel recovery height and the fucking joint angles and the, you know, my breathing. Eventually, all of that is autonomous. Anyway, yap session over. We got one more of those. And I am back immediately because I yapped for my entire rest period. Last one, man, then we get to pack it up, go home. No rain, by the way. Let's fucking go. I'll start behind the white line. I'll be nice. I mean, I'll be honest, bro, that's feeling pretty good. All right, so we are back home and I'm knocking out the jumps. I had to do a little bit of experimentation here because this is awfully higher than what I've done before. So I had to make sure I could actually do it first before I started recording. Because boy, that is awfully high. And it might be a little more hip flexion than I'm looking for, but I mean, I don't really have another way of setting this up because I don't have 2 boxes of like a reasonable height. So I probably could have parked the other way, but I don't know if that would have been any easier. So anyway, you'll get to see me hopefully not fuck this up. We'll see. So we're starting from the bench, which is awfully low. And I'm jumping to the truck bed. A little depth drop. So I feel like it's probably a little more hip flexion than what I'm looking for, but it is what it is. We're doing sets of 3 here too. This will be the last one. I mean, it feels fine, but like I said, it might be more hip flexion than what I'm looking for. We'll see. All right, this is set number 3. Again, I didn't record the first one because I didn't know if I could do it or not. So this is number 3. And it is raining, so I'm trying to speed this up a little bit so I don't soak the shit out of my bench. Feeling pretty good now that the confidence is established. One more. All right, took a quicker rest than normal because again, it's raining. I don't want it to just start pouring out of nowhere. I mean, it's feeling smooth now. Hopefully it looks smooth on camera. One more. Nice. All right, moving into throws. And again, I'm just doing overhead throws again. No step forward or anything like that. I'm just gonna stay right here. Overhead reach. Five by 2. All right, just FYI, I didn't record set 2, 3, or 4 just because it's the same shit over and over and over again. But you guys got the first and last set, so here we go. Ain't nothing fancy to watch, and I'm not trying to make a long video just for the sake of it, you know. Well, here we go. We're going to do a leg extension ISO, similar to last block. The only difference is we're going to do a 30-second hold at midway. So instead of at lockout, I'm going to go out to like 90 degrees. hold it there for 30, and then I'm gonna come down, do a full rep, and then a 15-second eccentric rep. And then I forget the other thing. I think it's the lying band hold again for the hips. All right, so here we go. We're going up halfway. Again, about 90 degrees. I'm gonna hold it there. 150. I don't even really have to hold on. I'm kind of in a good spot. Now it's time to look at my stopwatch every 2 seconds. About 10 more seconds here. Moving a little bit. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna come down. We're gonna do a full rep. 15 seconds on the way down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had quite a bit more ROM at the bottom, but I didn't want to rush it and end up kind of screwed. We'll come up a little bit here so I can get out. Boom. Cool. All right, quick cut, and then I'll show you the second part. All right, so second part, super straightforward. We're doing hip abduction again, seated. And all I'm gonna do is take give or take a squat stance so that this is kind of like the relaxed position. And I'm gonna abduct. I'm gonna hold this for 15 seconds. And then we're gonna go into some reps. 15 to be exact. Well, part. And I'm trying not to, rush those repetitions. I want full range of motion, yada, yada. Now, the fun part, we're gonna front squat. Oh yeah, front squat. So I'm gonna swap out the shoes real quick, load the bar, and we are building to a 4RM. Whether that's a true rep max, probably not. I'll probably still be within 9.5. Maybe even 8.5 on RPE. So we'll kind of feel it out. It just depends on how the squat feels. But that's the goal. 4RM, and then we're doing some back offs. So let's get started. All right, so here we go. Building to a 4RM off the front squat. First set, empty bar. You know how I roll. We'll see how everything feels. I reckon it shouldn't feel too bad. If anything, it's just going to be the wrist, forearm mobility because I haven't really warmed those up. So the hips should feel fine. Go ahead and sit down here for a little bit. Oh, that feels great. Oh. Yeah, not too bad. Been a while, but that doesn't feel too bad. Let's go ahead and load up. Probably a 135 right out of the gate. All right, set number 2, 135 on the bar. Again, we're doing 4s all the way up till we hit a max. Or just an uncomfortable set of 4. Just depends on how everything feels. Not too bad. 185, I believe. All right, here we go, 185. No belt, no safeties yet. I think we're still kind of early. I think I'm going to jump to 225 though. I'll probably use a belt for 225, I think. Yeah, because I feel like I have more than 225 for 4. But if I were to do it beltless, I feel like I'd kind of be probably stuck around 225 without the belt. So, and I don't view the belt as a handicap either before anyone starts thinking that. It's just a way to optimize your brace. You know what I mean? Yeah, that didn't feel too bad. I can probably go 225 with a belt, and we'll see how that feels for 4. All right, fellas. 225 on the bar. Whoop, sorry, I'm out of frame. Belt's going on. So far, really doesn't feel that bad. I reckon this will probably be pretty close. It's been a while since I've front squatted, so I'm sure some of the progression here will be over the next few weeks due to just technical improvements. But 225 I feel like might be a good 4RM. I don't know, maybe not. Depends on how easy the belt makes it feel. If it is pretty easy, I probably won't do much more, maybe like 245 or 250, maybe somewhere in that range. So we'll see. I have repped this before for I believe like six reps, I think, or maybe 8. But that was during like a front squat specific training program. So I don't know how this is gonna feel now, but we'll see. That wasn't rep max territory. It was hard, but it wasn't rep max territory. I think I could probably do 245 and get pretty fucking close to 4RM, I think. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna throw some 10s on here, give that a shot. That should be pretty close, and then we'll just go from there. Guys, this is most likely top set territory. 245 on the bar for 4. Just like my conjugate blocks where I do like the max effort variations. I don't always actually make it a rep max. Like I'm bleeding from the eyes, fucking hype song, smelling salts, the whole thing. Like I just go for like that day's kind of rep max. And 225 was easier than expected. But front squats also get really heavy really fast. And my max is only like 315, 320 last I checked. And that was a while ago. So this seems pretty reasonable for 4. Because again, I suck at reps and I'm really good at like 1s and 2s. So we're going to give it a shot and kind of see how it feels. Hopefully it's not too easy because I don't want to do another one. I'm going to be honest with you. But 245 for 4. And then we got 2 back offs of 4 reps. So let's do it. Well, I don't know about you, Sparky, but I think that was pretty close. I think that was pretty dead on, actually. Oh. Well, now, I'm going to go back down to 225 for 2 sets of 4. And it should feel much easier by comparison. We'll see. And a quick break. Go. This is the first drop at 225, set of 4. This shouldn't be rep max territory. It should feel pretty easy by comparison, but just due to fatigue, it might be a little harder than it was first go around. So, but this is just getting reps in now. So we got 2 sets of 4 at this weight. Hopefully this doesn't feel heavier than I'm expecting. Hopefully it's pretty smooth, and then we can just bang these out right away and get this workout over with. All right. Oh. All right, cool. That wasn't that bad. Definitely as bad as easy as I was expecting it to be. Words are hard. Quick rest, about 90 seconds. Then we'll do it again. Last one. Last set of 4. Let's fucking go, dude. Not too bad if I don't say so myself. All right. Up next, if I remember correctly, is an old favorite. Forward 2 reverse lunge. So it's 2 lunges in 1. We're doing a couple sets, literally, of 7, I believe. So you forward lunge directly into a reverse lunge. That's 1 rep. We're doing 7 on each leg twice. All right. First set's probably going to be something light, like 20s, because I don't know how my knee's really going to feel on the forward lunges. But I'm sure 20s will probably be light. And then we'll probably go 30 or 40, depending on how that feels. So I'm going to get this belt off, get set up for that. Let's keep it moving. 20 pounds here. Forward 2 reverse lunge. So it looks like camera's a little low, but you know, it is what it is. I guess I'll face this way. And so we're going forward, make sure I'm there. Hello. And then we go straight into a reverse lunge. 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Ugh. Oh, 6, 7. Whew. Nice and easy. We'll probably go to, honestly, probably 40, because that wasn't too bad. So we'll double our weight here. Shouldn't be too bad. One more. All right. We'll try to get a better camera angle for you guys, because I was watching that previous one. I didn't really like it, so. All right, 40s. No straps or anything. We're just gonna raw dog it. Block it. Whoa. Still gonna face the camera. I'll make sure I have enough room here. Oh, let's go. Oh, yeah, that's way heavier. Quick break for me to shake it out. And we'll do the other side. Give my little wussy hands a break. Oh. You know what? I'll face the other way too, so you guys can get 2 angles. Oh. Make sure I don't hit this thing. Woo! That's heavy. Come on, get in there. Oh God. Hello. Oh. Guys, we got a little glute finisher here before the work capacity finisher. Which won't be long. We're just at an hour right now. For the weight room, that is, not total. Single leg hip thrust. If you guys remember the ladder that we did, the isodynamics for the inverted row, where we did 5 count hold, 5 reps, 4 count hold, 4 reps, etc. We're doing that for single leg hip thrust. So I'm going to do 1 set on each side. And then next week, I might do 2 sets or go to 6 instead of 5. I haven't really decided. I'll probably just end up doing 2 sets. But anyway, single leg position. We get up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're doing 5 reps. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. Whew. It's funny whenever you do single leg hip thrust, obviously, but it feels funny that just that one ass cheek is on fire and pumped up and the other one's just like chilling. It's just such a weird sensation. A little mini break, like our rest pause where we do like 15, 20 seconds. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 1. Oh, buddy. Yeah, next week I'll probably do 2 sets instead of just the 1, because that wasn't too bad. So, but we're gonna go ahead and do our finisher, which is back extension, crunches, and then bent knee calf raise. 10, 10, 10 across the board. Take about a minute. All right, here we go. Hopefully this camera is positioned well. Hopefully you can see me do all 3 in one go so I don't have to cut. If it looks like shit on this video, I'm sorry. I'll cut it next time and rearrange the camera. Oh. Woo. Gotta grab the other way. Go. Scoot out just a little bit. I'm gonna do 5 more, just because this feels awesome. 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that felt fucking great. Whew. All right, and then the last one here, take this little safety strap off. Whoop. Be in a little half squat position. Oh, God. Gotta find a good way to brace myself here. Here we go. If you've ever done like squatty calf raises, there's an old home gym training staple right here. You would get good at holding a squat position. Oh, because it was the only way to make things harder. So you do, squatty arm stuff, squatty calf raises, squatty everything. It was the only way to make shit harder. And when you're training with no equipment, that's how you get it done, man. Anyway, that's the end of the workout. Not too bad. Oh, God. That was fun. Took just as long, maybe a little longer, than the previous block. But that felt good. I was worried that the squat KPI was going to feel a lot worse. Felt fine. So, after sprinting, you know what I mean? So, but I'm feeling good. So, tomorrow's tempo run. Thursday, upper body. Friday, field and weights again. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I don't have much to say. I mean, it's an awesome start to the next phase. So, I'm loving it, man. I'm having a good time. And I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. So, I'll see you guys next time. Adios.